So I want to welcome you to this brief presentation, by the way, that's designed with your success in mind. So success, by the way, is a journey, not a destination. So notice up in the top left, as 11-year-old and a white belt in the martial arts, didn't look very promising. Few years later, after working out 4 hours a day, every day, Monday through Friday, and traveling out of town on Saturday, fighting in tournaments, you can see now as a brown belt, I'm kicking up pretty high. I got a little things going for me. Few years later, you see me laying on a bed of nails, and a guy's breaking 100-pound of bricks off my stomach while I'm laying on a razor-sharp bed of nails. And then in the middle, where I was voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame, where you see my autograph, and then all the way to the right, breaking bricks on fire, my friend, and being voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. But guess what? It didn't start over here with me being voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. It didn't start over on the right with me being the 10th degree black belt, where there's about 100 of us that are alive in the world today out of 6.3 or 5 billion people. No, guess what? Look at the very bottom of the screen. I started out as a mess. And so here's my message today. Every master was once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. So you talking about getting started. When I started, I was a mess. When I started, my friend, I was terrible. As a matter of fact, when I started martial arts, I tripped over my own feet. They called me Mr. Baboon, and they made fun of me. As a matter of fact, let me give you the backstory. The backstory is, at 3 years of age, my dad left, never came home, never called, never sent mom a dime. I mean, it was terrible. At 6 years of age, I was out in the middle of a field playing, and a gang of teenagers came my way. I was so afraid, I froze in my track, and one of them grabbed me and bam, punched me in the stomach. And I don't know if you ever had the air knocked out of you before, but you're trying to breathe and you can't. And I was trying to breathe. I'm a 6-year-old boy. Why would it take a gang of teenagers for one 6-year-old boy? But they started pounding and punching all over me, my friend, and beating all over me. And then one guy picked me up and slammed me on the ground, and then start stomping on me and kicking all over me like I was an ant or a roach. And literally, from the time I was bleeding from everywhere you could bleed, you would think that was enough. But that wasn't enough for these guys. One of them flipped me over, laying on my back, faced up. They took a great big old bucket of tar, and they poured that bucket of tar on my face. They poured it all over my body. And then they took a bunch of feathers and they threw them on me, and they left me there. And of course, I was crying and screaming, "Mom, help, somebody." I'm saying, listen, my friend, and nobody came. 6-year-old boy, beaten, bloodied, and battered. As a matter of fact, my friend, time won't allow me to go through the details, but not only physical abuse, one of my mom's boyfriends beat me with a steel choker chain for a dog, beat me with a fiberglass bow and arrow set, physically abused, and it's called all kind of names. And, somebody says sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Oh, no, no, no. Sometimes names do even greater inner damage, emotional damage. And then sexually abused as a child, and any sexual abuse is bad, but especially when it's a male and it's a strong figure male. I'm saying, listen, my friend, my life was a mess. Matter of fact, by 12 years of age, I tried to commit suicide on 2 different occasions, and I'm so glad I failed. I'm so glad I failed. But back then, I didn't have any hope. And that's why, listen, my friend, I love what we're doing here, my friend, because we're helping to restore hope. And if somebody's like I was years ago, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I am now not just living the life of my dreams. I'm living beyond the life of my dreams. But I would have lost it all.
Amen, brother.
I would have lost it all about it taking my life. And so don't commit suicide. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. That's why, my friend, I'm telling you, every master was once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. You're looking at a former mess. I mean, a mess of a mess. I mean, listen, my friend, never thought I'd make it out of high school. A mess of a mess. I'm telling you, my friend, physical abuse and verbal abuse and sexual abuse and racial abuse and financial abuse and every kind of abuse you can think of. But today, my friend. Today, I stand before you, my friend. I've spoken in all 50 states and 28 countries. Today, I stand before you, having been paid as much as $47,000 to speak in 1 hour. Today, I stand before you, having been voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame, as well as the Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame. Today, I stand in front of you, having built a team of 1.5 million people worldwide. Today, I stand in front of you, having been the top of 9 different companies. As a matter of fact, at one point, I was a #1 income earner and #1 recruiter in 3 companies simultaneously. But I didn't start there. I started as a mess. So I want to encourage some of you that maybe think, hey, my business is not booming. Checks aren't zooming for me. Oh, don't worry. They can be, because every master was once a mess. Oh, but you say you don't understand. My marriage, my relationship is so messed up. No, you don't understand. Every master was once a mess. You're not the only one going through that. And so, my friend, I want to give you some steps. People ask me all the time, how in the world, when they hear my story, how did you get from there to here? How did you do it? I'm going to give you several steps. First of all, my friend, here's my 24/7 breakthrough information line, 646-653-1831, has a very short, powerful breakthrough informational line for you. But my friend, I want you to get that. I want you to see a picture of my family. My acronym for family is forget about me, I love you. So got Joshua on the left. He's my oldest son and former prior service Marine. He's also a 2nd-degree black belt. That's spoken word. My daughter next to him, Christina, she's actually the oldest and the shortest. And she's now Dr. Christina Harris, a professor, by the way. Matter of fact, we got a picture when she was a little girl visiting my college class, and then 20-something years later, me visiting her college class. And then Justin next to me, and Justin just went a year to college. He said, Dad, college is not for me. He's doing some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and then also working with the youth in the church. And then Josiah, the one on the way on the end, he's the strongest in the world in his category, 150 pounds, but collectively from the bench, the bench, deadlift and something else over 1,200 pounds, but just incredible. The guy was real teeny skinny growing up, and I kept telling him the story of Charlie Atlas, and now he is the strongest in the world in his category, and he also does poetry, my friend, but it's my family. So supplemental income, by the way, is the breakthrough that the majority of the world wants, needs, and seeks. The whole world suffers from less than perfect health. They desire time, lifestyle, and money freedom. Fortunes will be made by providing these breakthroughs. Now, Albert Einstein, they said he wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years of age, and his teacher said he would never amount to much. Every master was once a mess. Michael Jordan, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and he cried. See, every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. It was Walt Disney who was fired from the newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. Every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. It was Steve Jobs who, at 30 years of age, listen, my friend, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. Every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. Oprah Winfrey was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Now she owns her own network. See, every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. The Beatles were rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." Guess what, my friend? But they showed them. I'm not a fan of their music, but my friend, they went on to become very famous. And I'm telling you, my friend, listen, things might not look good for you now. You might look like a mess to everybody now. You might feel like a failure now, but I'm telling you, my friend, if you learn to take some steps, see, behind the glory, there's always a story. And sometimes the story is so gory, they won't tell it. But I don't want anybody to make any bones about it, my friend. I know what it's like to be homeless and phoneless. I know what it's like to be down and out. And I'm telling you, my friend, but we've made it to the top. And if I can do it, you can do it too. So number one, how do you go from being a mess or mediocre to being a master? Number one is through mentorship. You see, Socrates mentored Plato. Plato mentored Aristotle. Aristotle mentored Alexander the Great. It was Benjamin Graham that mentored Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett mentored millions. By the way, it was Jim Rohn who mentored Tony Robbins in the early days. And of course, Tony Robbins has mentored tens of millions. I mean, in the Bible, Moses mentored Joshua, and Joshua mentored the 3 million Israelites. And then my friend Elijah mentored Elisha. And then Jesus mentored the disciples. And here's what he said: the works that I do shall you do also, and greater works than these. Here's what that means. That means the mentee not just has the power of doing what the mentor has done. The mentee has the power of doubling what the mentor has done. So, hey, here's what I tell people: if you believe like I believe, and if you do like I do, what happens for me can happen for you, but because I'm not the standard, it can happen even better for you. And that's my prayer. And that's why I do what I do. And a mentor is someone who's been where you haven't been. A mentor is someone who's done what you haven't done. A mentor is someone who sometimes sees in you what you can't yet see in yourself, and they're willing to work to help get you there. So every master was once a mess. But listen, my friend, how does a mess get to being a master? It starts through mentorship. By the way, whenever a mess becomes a master, write this down. Every master was once a mess or mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day become a master. And whenever a mess becomes a master, they now have a message that if you market to the masses, you can make millions. And that's my story, my friend. And I believe that's going to be your story. See, you've got to learn to walk with who and what you want to be like. In spite of what things look like now, your day will come. This little baby cub of this little baby lion, it feels dwarfed next to his dad. But guess what, my friend? His day will come, and he might even be bigger one day. So it's time, my friend. Don't shy away from powerful people. You want to get as close as you can. Because again, every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master through mentorship. Number two is going to take a mental shift. You see, a mentor is going to help you to shift away from the things that you can't do and to shift on the things that you can do and leverage it to be able to accomplish those things that you thought you never could do. You see, my friend, mentors have a different mentality, and mentors will help you to develop the mentality of a champion. See, Muhammad Ali said impossible is just a big word. It's thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. Impossible. It's not a declaration. It's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. You see, my friend, if you just need to paint off the I am, and instead of impossible, now it says possible. As a matter of fact, if you put a space between the M and the P, it says I'm possible. See, everything worthwhile that's ever been done was declared impossible by someone else before it's done. Thus, you must have a breakthrough mentality, a breakthrough mentor, and learn some breakthrough methods. Number three, if you're going to go from being a mess or mediocre, it's not just having a mentor, And by the way, a mentor is not one whose advice you seek. A mentor is one whose advice you follow. Ooh, let me say that again. A mentor is not just one whose advice you seek. A mentor is one whose advice you follow. So if you want to go from being a mess or mediocre to being a master, number one, you got to have a mentor. But watch this. Number two, you got to have a mental shift. And then number three, it's going to take some misery. That's right. I hate to tell you this, but it's going to cost you something. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be easy. You see, a diamond is just a piece of charcoal that's handled stress exceptionally well. You see, don't allow the pain of the process to keep you from your promise. Ooh, come on, let me say it again. See, in the martial arts, I broke my fingers, had a broken nose, See, this is back before they had all these pads, right? And took all these safety precautions and broken elbow and broken toes. I broke it. Listen, my friend, but I didn't allow the pain of the process to keep me from my promise. Now I stand today, my friend, as a grandmaster. Listen, my friend, retired as a heavyweight champion with Karate World Rating Systems many years ago. Why? Because I didn't allow the pain of the process to keep me from my promise. Pardon me. By the way, don't allow the path of the process to keep you from the promise. See, sometimes the path is you're going to have to go down before you can go up. The greatest book ever written says, unless the corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it'll bring forth great fruit. See, before you have an undeniable breakthrough, you'll have to experience an overwhelming breakdown. Ooh. So don't allow, number one, the pain of the process to keep you from the promise, but don't allow, number two, the path of the process to keep you from your promise. And don't allow the pace of the process to keep you from your promise. See, I don't know about you. We live in this microwave society. We want it when? Now. But sometimes success is like a slow crock pot. Just cooks nice and slow, just over time, just day by day by day by day by day by day. And listen, my friend, I'm telling you, so many people have just thrown up their hands in frustration, just given up, my friend, when they could have been powerful beyond measure, but they stopped 3 feet from gold. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. If care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. Many a struggler turns about when they might have won had they stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the cloud of doubt. You never can tell how close you are. Victory may be near, though it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you just mustn't quit. I said, don't allow the pain of the process to keep you from a promise. Don't allow the path of the promise. Don't allow the pace of the promise to keep you from a pace of the process, to keep you from your promise. See, grapes must be crushed to make juice. Diamonds form under pressure with time. Olives are pressed to release oil that blesses. Seeds grow in darkness under the dirt. And so whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, pressed, or in darkness, you're in a powerful place of transformation. Submit, don't resist. Number 4, if you're going to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, it's going to take some methods. See, you can't usually prove that something doesn't work, but rather that you don't know how to work it right. You maybe haven't worked it long enough, or it no longer works because you are no longer working. Number 5 is going to take your mouth. If you want to go from being a mess, by the way, how many of you want to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master? Come on. How many of you? Well, guess what? It's going to take these things, but number 5 is going to take your mouth. I love this. Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest. He said that even before he knew he was. See, my friend, Job 22:28 says, thou shalt also decree a thing. In other words, speak it, decree it, and it shall be established unto thee. Romans 4:17 says, and calleth those things which be not as though they were. See, my friend, you got to start saying, like I said years ago, listen, my friend, I'm a leader of leaders. Multitudes of people follow me. They pay me huge amounts of money for me to speak and to empower them. And listen, my friend, and guess what? It came to pass. Again, I said, Muhammad Ali, he said, I was the greatest a long time before I believed it. How long is a long time? Is it 2 months? Is it 2 years? I don't know. But guess what? He said, he figured out what he wanted and he started saying it, even though he didn't even believe it himself. But he said, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say it long enough. I'm going to say it loud enough. And I keep hearing myself. Oh, wait a minute. Faith cometh by hearing by the word. If I hear, eventually I'm going to start believing it. When I believe it, now the energy, the body will give off the energy to make it manifest. Man. See, it's the repetition of affirmation that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. By the way, harsh words do hurt, Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification or building up, that it may impart grace to the hearers. And listen, my friend, listen. Sometimes, my friend, the words like this guy punching in the mouth and somebody else in the face, sometimes we do that to ourselves, my friend, and we're speaking corrupt words about ourselves and talking about how we're no good and we're never mind, and we just not can't this, we won't ever this, and we know. Stop, and change. You got to learn to use your words. Again, even God who quickeneth the dead, quickeneth means brings it back to life, quickeneth the dead, and calleth those things which be not as though they were. See, stop saying what you see and set out to see what you say. Oh, my goodness, did you get that? Let me say that again. That's good. I want to hear myself say that again. I said, stop saying what you see and set out rather to see what you say. Number 6 is going to take mastery. You say mastery? Yeah, in the martial arts, guess what, my friend? We practice over and over and over and over. And in Japanese, you call your teacher sensei. By the way, I studied what's called Isshin-ryu karate. How did I get started in martial arts, by the way? My mama many years ago won a free month of karate lessons, and I went with her. They were kicking and chopping and screaming and hollering. And mama, free is good, but when you're serious, you're willing to pay a little something. And mama started paying her money and got better and better and better. And one month she got too good. You say, Dr. Breakthrough, what's too good? Well, one day her and her boyfriend got in a fight and my mama knocked him out cold. I mean, I looked at my brother Ronald. Ronald looked at Lonnie. We looked at the guy on the ground. We said, man, whatever you do, don't mess with my mama. My mama's bad, man. My mama bad. And when I said, wait a minute, if the martial arts could help a 5'1" woman knock out a 6'1" man, I wonder, this could be my ticket. I'm going to get started. But listen, we're punching and kicking and chopping. We're practicing the katas, which is fighting an imaginary opponent. We're doing these drills over and over again. We're doing the techniques. And I'm like, Sensei, I can do this with my eyes closed. He said, that's not good enough. We had to do it and do it and do it. And after we thought we knew it, we had to do it some more and do it even more and do it even better. And he said, listen, you got to do it until it becomes part of your subconscious. Listen, my friend, I think the problem is we hear something one time and we think we have it. It's been said you got to hear something 7 times, 7 different ways, or from 7 different people before you get it. It's going to take some mastery. It's crazy that some people feel that 2 to 5 years in business is a long time to get rich, but don't feel like 40 years on a job is a long time to stay broke. Anyone who tells you, by the way, that you can succeed without work is probably trying to sell you something that won't. 7, it's going to take you some money. If you want to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, and you do, don't you? Then listen, I told you the things, but here's the last one. It's going to take you some money. Question, do you think I went to karate practice for free? Oh, no, sir. No, ma'am. We had to pay month after month. Like I told you about my mama, that free month was good. But listen, she was serious enough. She started paying, and free is good, but serious people are willing to invest. They're willing to circulate. When I married my beautiful wife many years ago, Nadia, I call her my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delight. She said, baby, we don't want to spend money. We only want to circulate money. I was like, wow, that sounds great. But what does that mean? She said, when you spend money, it's gone, never to return. She said, but when you circulate money, it goes out and it comes back, a never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. I was like, wow, from now on, we're going to look for ways to circulate the money that God allows us to have. And she said, and baby, we're going to pray that our money comes back with babies. Yes. But listen, if you're going to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, it's going to cost some money, my friend. The thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, my friend, I circulated on martial arts lessons. By the way, you think our gi, the thing that we worked out in, you think that was free? Oh, no. Had to pay for that. Oh, by the way, you think the tournaments we went to and fought in and participated and did our katas, you think that was free? Oh, no, we had to pay for that too. Hey, what about when we got tested for the different belts? You think that was free? Oh, no, we had to pay for that too. I'm saying, listen, my friend, I am telling you, it doesn't make sense to me. Anybody in the sports know that you got to invest, my friend. LeBron James invests over $1 million a year in his brain, my friend, in his brain and in his body, making sure it's in tip-top shape. And how is the people want to know, well, you want to be a master, but you think you're going to get there for free? I'm saying, listen, my friend, no, 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 no. First of all, you got to master something. You got to do it over and over and over and over again, but then it's going to cost you some money. But again, information costs, but it pays for itself 10 times over. And so Benjamin Franklin said, if you empty your wallet into your mind, he said, your mind will fill your wallet. Dr. Breakthrough says, what you put in your head that affects your heart determines what comes to your hand. If you want more coming to your hand, and you do, don't you? If you want more coming to your hand, you got to put more in your head that affects your heart. And so I want to tell you this, my friend, you've got what it takes, but it will take everything you've got. So I put together a 21-day breakthrough challenge, which is 21 3 to 7 minute videos strategically, scientifically, and scripturally designed to produce one or more breakthroughs in 21 days or less. I basically took about 45 years of my life and compressed them down into just 21 3 to 7 minute videos. And the people that take it get what I call bumblebee breakthrough. You say, Doc, what's a bumblebee breakthrough? Well, aerodynamically, it's impossible for the bumblebee to fly. But because the bumblebee doesn't believe that, he flies anyway. See, his body is too big in conjunction to his wings being too small. But guess what? He flies anyway. And when you take my 21-day breakthrough challenge, you're going to be able to fly. You're going to be able to do some things you never dreamed you could do. You're going to be able to do some things they told you you'll never be able to do, my friend. It's time for you to get your bumblebee breakthrough. Day one, you're going to learn the power of why you should personalize, internalize, and have an accountability partner. You'll understand the importance of saying the right thing to and about yourself. Day two, you're going to learn why it's possible, profitable, and probable that you will break through utilizing this new approach. Also, learn why you deserve a breakthrough. Day three, you're going to learn the most compelling reason to leave your comfort zone and why you will never return after learning this secret. By the way, I used to have a comfort zone where I knew I could not fail. The same for walls and busy work were really more like jail. I longed so much to do the things I'd never done before, but stayed inside my comfort zone and closed and locked the door. I couldn't let my life go by just watching others win. I held my breath to take a step to let the change begin. I took a step and with new strength I never felt before, I kissed my comfort zone goodbye and closed and locked the door. If you are in a comfort zone afraid to venture out, remember that all winners were at one time filled with doubt. A step or two, words of praise can make your dreams feel true. So greet your future with a smile. Success is there for you, and your next breakthrough is on the other side of your comfort zone. You see, my friend, day four, you're going to learn the phrase and mindset that has produced multiple millions of dollars for more people than any other single thing. On day five, learn to leverage the concept that will create more breakthroughs faster than anything else. On day six, get introduced to a concept that has never before been taught or discussed by anyone anywhere other than me. Find out the 18 different areas you can experience a breakthrough. Day number 7 of the 21-day breakthrough challenge, discover the concept of creating leverage from one breakthrough to another and another one, and also understand the real essence of a breakthrough. Day 8, a never before taught breakthrough concept that will free you forever of undue pressure and stress. And surely nobody listening to me today is under any stress. Well, of course, just this day alone would be worth the full price. Day 9, discover the only 5 responses to every situation in life, empowering you to decide more wisely. Day number 10, learn to harness the power of visualization to experience your next breakthrough. Day 11, learn to use your words to create an atmosphere that is conducive to a breakthrough. Day 12, learn one of the most shocking and thought-provoking secrets about a master versus the student. By the way, I'll give you a little hint. The master has failed more times than the student ever imagined attempting. Let me say that again. I said the master has failed more times than the student ever imagined attempting. See, get this. Success and failure aren't opposite. Success, listen, my friend, failure rather is part of success, and failure might be one of the greatest parts of true success. Day 13, 2-sentence wealth strategy and ability to get a free book on creating wealth. Also, day 14, learn the law of appropriation and how to leverage it to create massive breakthroughs. Day 15, learn the one guarded secret difference between the people you respect the most and yourself, and how you can be more than you ever imagined in the shortest time imaginable. Day 16, learn the power of someone else's belief in you that can release your breakthrough. I never believed in myself growing up. I had other people that would somehow saw something in me. And so I didn't want to let them down because I respected them. So I gave it a shot because they believed, and it shocked me when it worked. And one day I said, well, why don't I just believe in myself? And now I feel like a debtor. And now, my friend, through my 21-day breakthrough challenge, I get to believe in people and pour into people, and they get to get those breakthroughs. And so, my friend, I want to be that person that is like training wheels, like you could use my belief in you like training wheels until your own belief kicks in. And day 17, you'll discover the simple yet profound principle that will keep you encouraged when most others get discouraged. Day 18, learn the shocking truth that many successful people hope you'll never learn, because it levels the playing field, and discover a simple formula to become a millionaire. Day 19, get introduced to a simple principle that produces almost unbelievable results in record time. You may never be the same when you grasp this principle. Day 20, learn the 5 observations that a grandmaster, former heavyweight martial arts champion, and black belt Hall of Fame recipient realized that can change everything forever. Day 21, discover the most powerful story and the principle that can free your mind and your heart from the lies and negative influence of others. And so, my friend Laura Gillick reported, just one principle I learned on lesson 4 was worth the cost of the whole program. If I never learned anything else, I received more than my money's worth from what that one principle will produce for my life and business. Les Carter said, I've had so many breakthroughs, spiritual, emotional, physical. He said, I dropped 28 pounds. I made the top level of my company in record time. And he said, I've gifted the challenge to others, and it has changed their life. Mrs. Wisegrams reported, I've experienced spiritual, generational, and marriage breakthroughs. We just deposited a check for $112,000 as a result of action taken because of the challenge. She says, I'm going through it again so I can get more results. I said, man, I think I'll take my challenge again, my own self. Bob Becker said, I've experienced spiritual, financial, housing, employment breakthroughs. He said, I just made $3,500 for the week. However, before the challenge, I wasn't making that amount in a month and a half. And so how would you like to be like this snail with a jet fuel pack on your back that takes you, my friend, and soars? And that's what my 21-day breakthrough challenge will do for you when you sign up and get started. And so your time as a caterpillar has expired. Your wings are now ready. See, you're not a mess. You're a master in the making. You're not a master who messed up. You're a master in the remaking. Your wings are now ready. So here's what I want you to do as I close. If you'd like to go further, have the training, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a crazy discount. When I speak, I sell this for only $297. And my business mentor said, Doc, you need to raise it up 10 times that price. Man, you're a 10th degree black belt. You've been voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. Man, listen, you need to be charging so much more. And I said, but listen, I'm a man on a mission with a God-given vision, operating with focused precision that will produce incredible breakthrough provisions. And I've got a mandate on my life to empower 1 million or more people to experience one or more breakthroughs by 21 days or less by the year 2024. And so I want to make it where everybody can take this. So here's what I want you to do right now. If somebody can type this in the chat, go to www.theinternetmentor.com. So www.theinternetmentor.com. And you want to click on the 21-day breakthrough challenge. Now, you must put this coupon code in, and the coupon code is simply HOPE, HOPE, HOPE. You put that in, and guess what? It's going to take off $200. That's right, a $200 discount. It's already too low at $297. But when you put the coupon code in, it's going to drop off $200. It'll only be $97.97. Listen, my friend, only because you're part of this community. So type in the word hope and the coupon code, and instantly it's going to take that and give you that discount. So listen, I don't know about you. I love discounts. And so, my friend, you want to make sure you get started today. So go right now, www.theinternetmentor.com, and click on 21-day breakthrough challenge. Click on where it says coupon code, and instantly you'll see it'll drop off from $297, $200 will go off, and it'll only be $97 when you put in the coupon word hope. And again, my friend, at some point, I'm going to raise the price like my mentor said, but for right now, I want you to get this and to be blessed. So also 24/7, you can call 646-653-1831. Listen, my friend, would you be willing to allow me to empower you to experience more breakthroughs than you ever imagined? Get started when? Right now.